Look Izuna, it's mini you. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have the 1/7 scale figure of Izuna from No Game No Life by Phat Company. There are not many figures of Izuna out there, so I'm really happy to have found this one of Izuna and glad to have her in my collection. Without further ado, let's open her up. Hey! Yeah, before we continue with the Izuna unboxing, I've got a little surprise for you. You know, initially I thought I would just do the usual figure unboxing, but it's Izuna. It's No Game No Life. If you don't already know, I simp for this show. So we've got to do something special. And to help me out with this special unboxing is the sponsor for today's video, Izuna Dakimakura pillow. Yes. Wait, what is a Dakimakura? Well, let me show you. With what I have over here. I must say this is pretty compact packaging. I mean, if you know, you know. Considering how big a Dakimakura is. This is quite a nice size for shipping. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I'm quite excited, so let's open this up. My tiny scissors. Packaging in a packaging. Alright. Wait, there's something else in here. Okay, I've got some free gifts, but yeah, I don't think I can show this on YouTube, so yeah. I'll look at it later and then see if I can show on YouTube, but yeah. Okay, anyway, continuing with this, the real substance here. Here it is, guys. This is a Dakimakura. Yeah, it's a white pillow. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's open this up. Okay, where do I start? You know, since this is a pillow which is probably vacuum packed, you're gonna see this expand dramatically, I hope. Can you hear it? The sound of air going in. Okay, I don't know if my mic caught that, but yeah. I can hear the sound of air entering this pillow. The vacuum pack is coming loose. Look at how big this is. Ah. Okay. Oh, look at it rise. Rise, pillow rise. And I'm being ridiculous right now. Oh wow, guys, this is pretty big. I have not seen a Dakimakura in real life before, so color me impressed when I say I see that this is really big. Okay, can't tell, but I'm holding this up from the floor, and this is how tall it is. It's almost as big as me. Yeah, so now you kind of know how tall I am. Okay, yeah, this is just the pillow. We still have an outer cover for this, so give me a moment. I am back, guys, and part 2 of this delivery is here. So yeah, don't be too worried if your items come part by part like this. This one came about 2 weeks after the pillow came, so yeah. Anyway, let me just open this up. That's right, guys. To kick off this figure unboxing of Izuna, I have a 1.5 meter long Izuna Dakimakura, brought over from the wonderful folks at Anime Dakimakura Pillow. Wait, so what is a Dakimakura? Well, it's a huge huggable pillow featuring an outer cover with your favorite husbando, waifu, or oshi, or whatever you want. And in my case for today, I have Izuna. Truth be told, I've always wanted one of these Anime Dakimakura pillows. You see, I've got quite a few other pillowcases, but they don't have a pillow to go with. In fact, on my last trip to Japan, I didn't really see any shops selling the Dakimakura pillows. Maybe I'm not searching hard enough, but it's kind of hard to find. In fact, maybe a bit hard to ship back as well. But thankfully, we have Anime Dakimakura pillows to help provide a pillow for the perfect fit of these pillowcases. But before I get into it, the random freebies that dropped out of the packaging I mentioned. After filtering out what I can show, here is what I got. First, a thank you note. The note also mentions that shipments may come separately, and yes, that happened to me, so don't worry about it. Your items will come eventually. Besides, you can still contact their support if you have any questions. I'm sure they'll be happy to help. Next, I got this little keychain with Anime Dakimakura Pillow's cute mascot. Yeah, this is the spirit animal for us weebs. Last but not least is this pamphlet. A pretty important pamphlet. Why? Because just like the usual figure assemblies, we have a set of instructions for setting the Dakimakura up. I know it's just a pillow cover, but I feel like I'm gonna need this for the next step. So let's get on with it. This here is the Anime Dakimakura Pillow Super Comfort Inner Pillow, the most important meat of this Dakimakura. It is made with basic soft polyester, and boy is this punchable. The pillow which I got is the 1.5 meter long version, which is half a meter wide as well. Verifying this with my measuring tape? Yeah, exactly as promised. If you are taller than me, which I'm sure most people are, there's also a 1.6 meter long option which you can go for. Whatever works for you. For the pillow which I got, this feels pretty nice and thick. But if you are someone that wants a bit more, you also have the option to go with extra stuffing. Basically, what you see on the product page is what you get. Inside the pillow, the stuffing looks pretty much the same as what I see on the web page. It also kinda looks like I can stuff more in, hehe. Besides the stuffing, my pillow also came with a nice premium looking black lining. Guess this prevents the fabric from tearing at the edge, especially if you're someone that likes violent pillow fights. Last important info for the pillow, yeah, the washing instructions. What do the symbols mean? Well, go ask Google. I don't remember, but I know you can look it up. Anyway, this here is just the meat. I still have the outer cover. Yes, Izuna. She is like 1.5 meter long, and that's taller than me. My gosh, Izuna, you are taller than me. Taking a closer look at the fabric, this is made of the peach skin fabric, soft to the touch. And wow, the edge lining is also folded inwards and very neatly done. I deliberately picked this Izuna because of how vibrant No Game No Life characters are, and I must say, the fabric print quality is fantastic. It's very sharp and the colors are indeed vibrant. Plus, this was the cheapest fabric option. Yes, you can choose from 4 different types of fabric, all of which have different qualities to suit your preference. There are some photos which you can compare, as well as stats for the fabric in terms of stretch, thickness, and detail of the print and durability. If you still can't decide, Anime Dakimakura Pillows also offers fabric samples so you can choose what suits you best. After all, picking a Dakimakura for your waifu is a life-changing event. Also, if Izuna is not for you, you can check out other designs at their website. There is a ton of options to choose from, so much so that it's impossible to click through everything. If you want, you can also submit your own custom design. Plus, this is a double-sided pillow, so you can have something different on the front and the back. Having said all that, I still have yet to put the pillow cover on the pillow. Watch me suffer, guys. Step 1, according to the instructions, is to unzip the pillowcase. Regarding the quality of the zipper, it feels very high quality and doesn't seem too easy to break. I also like that this zip is folded inwards, having a 100% smooth edge, ensuring that I don't poke myself in my sleep. All around the edge of this pillowcase, the fabric is folded inwards. The stitching work is pretty neat on the inner side as well. Anyway, the next step for this Dakimakura is to roll up the pillowcase. Because of how long this pillowcase is, which is like 1.5 meter long, this process took me quite a while. Basically, I'm rolling this up to this point. So this is gonna be like the little cap to slot into the pillow. And boy, this is where the real struggle begins. I had to squeeze this pillow head into this pillowcase quite a bit. But once it's in, all you have to do is just roll out the pillowcase. Okay, even though I said it was a struggle, it wasn't too bad. It just took me quite a bit of time because this pillow is pretty long. 1.5 meter long, that's a long way to go. But once it's more or less in, the last step is to simply zip it up. And for this, I also took my time because I didn't want to break the zip. Well, all went well because nothing broke. This pillow and case are like a perfect fit. And even though it's such a tight fit, the edge at the zip still feels really smooth. And I'm not done yet. I think I still need to straighten this fabric out. Just need to wiggle this pillow a bit. And voila, all done. As for the thickness of this pillow, it feels so good. Extremely punchable. Oh, sorry Izuna. You know, when you have your own home, the most important investment is firstly the bed. Second is the pillow. You spend half your life on your bed and pillow, so by no means should you ever skimp on them. That's why what I have here, chef's kiss. My neck is gonna have such a blissful night from now onwards. Wow, this feels really nice. When they say Dakimakuras were super huggable, well, they weren't wrong. I'm gonna have such a good night's sleep tonight. You know, they always say sleep is for the weak, but no, sleep is the best. It's for the privileged. Anyway, once again, big thanks to Anime Dakimakura Pillow for sponsoring today's video. If you are interested to get one of these yourselves, you can check them out in the link in my description below. Plus, I have a promo code which you can use to get 10% off. Just use this code, ADP-Fairy. So yeah, this is a super must-have for any weeps. Now Izuna, shall we get back with your Izuna unboxing? Okay, back to the figure. Now this one I bought secondhand from Suruga-ya for about 14,000 yen, which was about 136 USD back in 2021. I would say it's a good price, considering she retailed for around 19,000 yen back in 2020. Today, I still see her being sold on MFC for around the same price, so not a super sculpted figure, I think. Anyway, I bought this a long time ago, back in 2021. But I'm only posting this review now cause, well, better late than never, yeah? And for this review, as usual, we start with the box. Once again, this is a second-hand figure, so I do not expect the box to be in great condition. And yeah, it came home kinda scratched up. It's got a pretty worn out look. But assuming this is brand new, there's a pretty nice concept for the design. The windows mimic a traditional round Japanese window, and it's a nice way to frame this figure that's adorned in a kimono. The colors also reflect the color theme of this figure, purple, pink, and orange, in the Japanese origami-like patterns, as well as the usual no game no life checkerboard pattern. In terms of the firmness, nope, it's a flimsy box. That also explains why my box came pretty worn out, couldn't stand the test of time. It has quite a lot of scratches, which I'm not sure if you can see, but it's there. Anyway, opening up the box and taking out the blister package, the inner side is that ugly brown cardboard material, but there is a nice checkered pattern backdrop inside for the figure, especially when you look through the windows. There is also a little note from Phat Company, and for my copy, there are no instructions. I'm not sure if the actual one has, but I don't think I need it. That's cause Izuna only has a single blister package, and there are not too many components. Inside, I first have the usual checkerboard base. However, this is abnormally big. Next is this minifigure of Hatsuse Izuna's grandpapa. And he comes with this little base. There is also a minifigure of Miko, the representative of the Weebies. She too has a little base. Lastly is the figure of Izuna herself, and her big ass tail, which was pretty loose and can be detached. For a second-hand figure, the plastic protection and inner blister package is well put together around Izuna. I appreciate it. The seller or Suruga-ya bothered to ensure that the figure remains well protected all the way. And yes, at first glance, Izuna looks fantastic. The same can be said for her giant tail, lovely colors, and it's super lightweight. Well, that's it. These are all the components that came with this Izuna figure. Now to set her up. For assembly, there's one more plastic wrapping at her neck, so I'm gonna remove that. I believe her head can be detached to remove this. Yep, it comes off. I'm not sure why they needed to make her head removable, considering there's no additional faceplates for this. Next, let's put her tail on. At her back, there's a dummy pack to remove before putting her tail on. Once that is out, I can put her tail in. The pack of her tail has a particular shape, and that should align with the hole on her back. And it goes in perfectly. To set her on the base, well, we simply just put her on the base. But to complete this figure, we still have her minifigures. First, I'll remove the plastic wrapping. Next, I'll set them on their bases. And once that's done, all I have to do is puzzle the 3 characters on the giant base, in the nicest way of course. With that, I have the 1/7 scale figure of Izuna by Phat Company fully assembled, and she looks so adorable, with Papa and Mama looking out for her. At 1/7 scale figure, she's a really short figure because she's sitting on the floor. But despite the height, she takes up quite a massive space. To be honest, you can do away with the base as she can sit perfectly well anywhere. However, her base has the typical checkered pattern design like the other No Game No Life figures. So I might as well keep her on it for now, until I really run out of space. Looking into the figure, her face is super adorable. I like her upside down V-shaped mouth. It's so cute on her. Her eye decals are also really detailed, and I like the colors of it. But for this figure, I do have a slight issue with her face. From this angle, she looks fine. But if you look at her from a lower angle, it starts to get wonky. It's probably subjective, but I find the chin and neck strange. Reminds me of meme free run. For her hair, she has a very simple hairstyle, but it is very nicely detailed. The strands are individually sculpted, and I like how the gradient of purple from her ears transitions into the lighter orange or pink color at the tips of the hair. However, there seems to be 2 seam lines at the top of her head, which looks kind of weird. Well, from the lower, more flattering angle, it's not visible, so it's fine. Sadly, for my copy, there is a color transfer on her ear. I'm not sure if it's because this is second-hand, but I doubt it cause there were no floating parts in the box. Also, back then, Phat Company was known for their painting QC issues. Moving down the figure, Izuna is sort of wearing a kimono, and I love how it's dripping all over the floor. The folds of the fabric is nicely sculpted, and I really like the patterns of the kimono. There's also this very dynamic looking scarf, which I think is the kimono obi, flowing around her, and that makes the composition of this figure really nice. As for Izuna's sculpt, well, you either love it or hate it. I love No Game No Life, so I love this. This sculpt captures Izuna's character design to the T. Her big fluffy tail is almost as big as her, but it's lightweight, so not likely to break off. Sadly, mine has a bit of a scuff here. Once again, I'm not sure if this is because it's second-hand, or if it's just Phat Company and their QC issues. But to be fair, other than the ear and tail, the rest of the figure is pretty well done. Lastly, I really like that they have these additional minifigures, and they look pretty detailed despite the size. The outfits are well sculpted and painted, and I love how fluffy their hair is. It's accurate to the character design. All in all, I'm super happy to have this Izuna in my collection, considering there are not many figures of her. If you can pick her up for a good price, I definitely highly recommend this figure, especially if you're a No Game No Life fan like me. Anyway, that's it for this video. It was a super simp for Izuna unboxing. We don't get many figures for this character, but this one captures her perfectly. Phat Company certainly is living up to the standards they set for their No Game No Life figures. Sure, there's a couple of paint QC issues, but that could also be from the previous owner. And now, I also have a body pillow to go with her, and my love for this series. Yeah. Fun fact, I binged all 12 episodes of season 1 in one night in studio back in Aki school. Well, yeah, I had to stay overnight to make my model and needed something to keep me up awake. Woes of an Aki student. And then the next day, I watched it again. So yeah, I watched No Game No Life twice in 2 days. Oh, one more thing. I want to give an extra shout out to all our channel members. Thank you so much for helping support the channel, especially Diamond Flame 45 for supporting us here. Side note, if you want to get videos like this a little bit earlier, custom emojis and loyalty badges, I'll leave it all in the description below. Anyway, let me know what you think about today's unboxing in the comment section below. If you enjoyed what you saw, do leave a like and subscribe with notifications to stay tuned to more videos. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye! Now which husbando shall I sleep with tonight?